Peterson. Welcome back to my channel. I hope that you are doing well. And I also hope that you enjoy hanging out with me in the kitchen, because that is what is happening today. We are cleaning out the fridge. It's a mess in there. It's a total mess. I have been buying food, things like produce and stuff, and then just shoving it in the fridge because I was tired. So we are tackling all things kitchen. I have a crock pot meal to share with you. I'm going to be getting some broccoli, potato, cheddar soup in the crock pot, which I'm very excited for. I've got some crusty sourdough bread to go with it. We need to get that going. I need to clean out the fridge before I can do that, because I have to find the broccoli that's in there, plus all the other ingredients. And then just your typical cleaning of the kitchen. I made salmon patties. Very good for you, very delicious. But my kitchen smells like salmon patties still. So I want to address that, get the kitchen all nice and clean. Top priority is the fridge though. It's dangerous in there. It's getting dangerous in there. Hey, Gary. Hey, man. Gary says hi. Gary says hi. Meow. Anyways, so that's the plan. We're gonna be cleaning up the kitchen, hanging out in here, getting it all nice and clean. It's gonna smell so good because of the lack of salmon patty smell and of the cleaning and the broccoli cheddar potato soup. Oh, it sounds so good. It's very gloomy today, so it's the perfect soup for today. But Gary and I are going to be working hard. We are so glad that you are here. If you are new here, I'm really glad that you found me. We typically upload twice a week on Tuesdays and Saturdays, and it's all chaotic good in this house. Try to have lots of positive vibes. We clean, we attempt to organize and declutter. We have food, make food, share food. Sometimes I decorate things, which is also really fun. So if you're not already, subscribe to the channel. Continue to hang out. But otherwise, I really hope you're doing well. I hope that the weather is the weather that you need right now for you, and that you are feeling healthy and happy. But yeah, let's get started, Gary. Oh, I forgot to show you. I got a new to-do list. I'll link it in the description box. Very exciting. My other one is empty. These lines are a little smaller than the other one. I do maybe regret that a little bit, but this one's really pretty and I'll get used to it, so it's fine. New is okay. All right, Gary, we're gonna clean the fridge out. Are you ready? Look at him. He's just a little loaf in my arms. Oh, Gary, I love you so much. He's never done anything wrong in his whole life. Okay, subscribe for more Gary. Let's get started. Let's get started, Gary. Oh, okay, so the kitchen itself is actually not terrible. It smells not great, but we can fix that. The fridge though is just a disaster. There's just a lot in there. I know there's some old food, just the normal stuff you find in my fridge. All of my best intentions are in here. They're all in here. So we're gonna start by just clearing that out. I'm gonna dig out all the produce that has survived, get that clean, and then just kind of wipe everything down. I don't think I really have anything to restock or anything in here unless I have some cheese sticks in the freezer. But we're also going to be like updating the grocery list as we go, just because I know that we're missing stuff because I can't see in there. So we're gonna start, let's find the produce, let's get things cleared out. We'll have to like load the dishwasher and stuff too, because we are bound to find disgusting containers. What an adventure. I've chosen this adventure though. Okay, let's do it.
I've got this feeling, I'm feeling you could be the one. I see no reason why I should ever let you go. Don't wanna wake up if I'm dreaming, because I can't get enough of this feeling you're giving me. Don't wanna wake up. No, I don't wanna wake up. I don't wanna wake up.
Found the broccoli. They gave me too much. They're fuzzy, can you see? Oh man. I still have eggs. Do you need any?
I wouldn't know what to do.
Well, we've got the fridge cleared out for the most part. I did not clear off the little tray or anything, and I didn't want to take the meat all the way out because it was raw, so we're working around it, which is fine. But I'm just using the Meyer's basil multi-purpose cleaner. I got it recently from a friend. It smells so good. Oh, I love it so much, and I am really glad that it's not a seasonal one, if I'm being honest, because I can really lean into it. But I am so glad you're here to hang out with me. Let me know down in the comments what you've got going on, what kind of tasks you need to get done. I will be honest, this does not end up being a one-day thing for me. The day gets away from me. Life is busy and crazy right now, and so I'll talk about it a little more, but I am able to get quite a bit done on this day and then finish it up the next day. The crock-pot meal also gets a little chaotic, but I will show you everything and how it turned out ultimately. Ew, do you get any guesses what that was? That's cilantro. Cilantro, I feel it's risky for me to buy cilantro because I go through phases where I really like using it on lots of stuff, and then I forget it existed. So that was an example of me being excited about it, and then also one that I forgot existed. But oh well. But we're just gonna finish pulling things out of the drawers, wiping things out, and I'm trying to kind of go quickly. The fridge itself wasn't too bad. It was mostly just so cluttered and disorganized that I really just needed to kind of get my hands in each drawer and remind myself everything that was in there. So this doesn't take too long. There were things that did not survive. There was a bowl of mystery meat, which I think was chuck roast, but I don't totally remember. It's gone now though, it's over. We can move on from it. But otherwise, just the normal produce with good intentions and a couple of things that my kids decided they didn't like anymore, which is always delightful. But almost done getting the fridge cleaned out and organized here, except for like the produce. We've got to clean that, and then just getting everything packaged and put back.
Wouldn't know what to do without you, baby, without. Wouldn't know what to do. Wouldn't know what to do. Oh, you know, oh, you know, oh, you know, baby, without.
Okay, so all of this is like yard waste stuff I can put in compost, but I'm gonna get the good stuff clean first in the sink, and then I can put all the gross dishes. Oh, Gary, hold on. Oh, buddy. Somebody thinks he's allowed on the counter. We're working on it. Anyways, I'm gonna get all the produce that needs to be washed and put away in the sink, get that getting clean, and then once that's all done, we can take care of the dishes. Gross.
I know the next morning when the sun goes up, it might be the last day of you and me.
Well, I'm going to use my little produce purifier. I'll link it in the description, but it's one of those things that kind of ionizes the water, helps get rid of pesticides and stuff. You just put a little salt in it or with it, and it takes about 15 minutes. You kind of want to rotate or turn the vegetables and fruit around a little bit so everybody gets a chance to be in the water. But this thing's really cool. It doesn't take super long, and it's really handy.
If I could, I would bring back all the memories, not yours, only in my dream. Oh, if I
Okay, so our produce is clean and drying. I put a couple of things away in the fridge, but I can't finish until all of the produce is ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I need to get the crock pot going. So I'm gonna move all of the gross into the sink here, all the containers just into the sink, spray them off, and then we'll get the crock pot meal going, and then load the dishwasher up, and then just kind of go around and clean everything. I'm going to put these filters in the dishwasher and see how it goes. I think I've done it before, but I know somebody has suggested it to me before. So I'm gonna risk it. We're gonna try it out, see how it goes. I'm hoping it'll really get the nasty built up grease out of there. And so maybe my kitchen will stop smelling like salmon. We'll see though. But let's get all the yucky dishes, put them in the sink, and then we will make soup in the crock pot.
Take it all back if I could. I would bring back all the memories, not yours only in my dream. Oh, if I could. Oh, if I could. Oh, if I could.
Okay, so here are our ingredients. Broccoli, of course, and then it's just got garlic and onion. It calls for chicken or vegetable broth. I have this vegetable, so that's what I'm gonna go for. The seasonings, it's just salt, pepper, and smoked paprika, which should be good. Potatoes, butter, cheese, and heavy cream. It also calls for some flour, but I didn't bother getting that out just because we don't need it till the very end. But really, we just start off by getting all of our produce diced and put in there with the seasonings and the stock, and that is it. You just set it and forget it until later, and then we'll add in the other stuff, which is going to be really good. But I'm gonna wash up the potatoes, get them peeled. I should have thrown them in with the rest of the produce, but I forgot. So I'm gonna go do that real quick. We'll get everything chopped up and put in the crock pot. This should come together really quick, and I'm so excited. Well, I will be honest right now, this recipe, the flavor is really good, and it could be just me cutting things a little too big, but I don't know if I would make this particular one again, at least for my family. If I do, it would definitely be a little bit less broccoli and everything, and cutting things up a little bit smaller. I probably just added too much of everything, which is typical for me. The flavor is delicious, but I probably add a little bit more liquid and less vegetables and stuff, which is counterintuitive because it's supposed to be a vessel for vegetables for my kids. But the kids did really like the broth. They liked the soup in general. It was just a little too chunky, and I did blend it up, which I'll talk about a little bit later, which did help, but I probably should have added more liquid or something. There's just a little bit of troubleshooting, but ultimately the recipe itself is delicious. It's very tasty, but I don't know if it was a full winner in my house, but I'll link it regardless, and you can look at it and decide for yourself. But now that is in the crock pot, I'm just going to put the produce away. It had time to sit here and dry. I've got my produce containers here, which I love. I toyed with cutting up the strawberries or not, but honestly, I just didn't want to take the time to do it. So I'm putting it in these containers. Other times I'll cut them up and put them in like a glass mason jar, but we're using the produce savers for right now. And then I also have my little cilantro keeper there, which is that green and white thing, which it does help with herbs. You add a little bit of water into the bottom of it and you place your herbs in there, and I do find that they last longer. And that's what Rhea didn't do with the cilantro that was forgotten in the drawer, is I did not put it in the saver, and it probably would have survived a little bit longer, and I probably wouldn't have forgotten that it existed. So this Rhea was smarter than past Rhea. This thing actually is really handy, and I do think it makes a huge difference. Another thing that I do is I put kind of a wet paper towel on the bottom of the scallions to help get them to last a little bit longer too. The Ziploc bags I can recycle, and I didn't have a great way to put the broccoli away, and I didn't want to use another reusable bag. I have mixed feelings about those, and I didn't want it to be like a temporary thing in the fridge. So I'm just throwing them in a Ziploc bag, getting everybody in the fridge, and then we'll be done with the fridge. It looks beautiful and amazing, and we're going to tackle the dishes next, but it feels so good to have everything packed away, easy to see, and clean again. It always is like, here's where we started, really, really chaotic, and now look at it. It's kind of empty now because of all the gross things that were left behind, but still, fridge is much nicer, much cleaner, and we can actually see everything that we have. But we all lose control of our fridge every once in a while, right? And I definitely do, like every other week. I'm loading the dishwasher. I wanted to try to put the filters in here. I will tell you now, they don't fit in my dishwasher unless I adjust everything, because you can adjust the middle rack up a little higher, but I'd already loaded it all and just figured I'm gonna let it soak. I'm not gonna bother putting them in the dishwasher, but I do attempt to, and I do not succeed.
You're gone now, will you call me back? Yeah, I know that
Last things are just hand washing the last few items that didn't go in the dishwasher, a few of the little bags. One of you did suggest with the reusable bags, they're kind of a pain. It's a love-hate relationship, but what she suggested is putting a little bit of soap in there, filling it with water and letting it sit, especially if it's really gross or you don't want to clean it right away. And it makes the cleaning a lot easier, which is a fantastic tip. And I will do it in the future. This time around, they were smaller bags and I was already washing things, but that is such a great idea. Thank you so much for that tip. I'm very excited to try it out. It is such a genius idea. But almost done washing the dishes. I did have 2 bottles of Best Intentions here, the giant teriyaki bottle and the barbecue sauce. I need to stop buying things in bulk at Costco sometimes that are like that. And the expiration date was a year ago. And I don't remember when I actually opened them. So it was time to say goodbye. But I did use quite a bit of it before I just forgot using it altogether. So that's progress, but Ria's maybe learned a lesson. Maybe. We'll see. But I'm going to get the sink rinsed out and then fill it with some water. I'm just going to use Dawn dish soap, fill it up with hot water, and then we're going to stick the filters in here to soak and then move on from there, clean things while it has time. I did notice, like when I pressed them down into the water, you can see the bubbles kind of turn yellow from all the grease. So I definitely needed to do this. The camera doesn't pick it up, but it was disgusting. Okay, so I've got the grates or filters soaking, which are very greasy. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to kind of try to wipe down up in here. On there. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wet a microfiber cloth and put just a little bit of Dawn Power Wash on it and just kind of wipe around in there really carefully. It's got the fan. I mean, it's greasy in there. So I'm gonna do that. Hopefully I don't break anything. I've wiped down in there before. But you know, it only takes one time. I think it's better. This got kind of gross. All right. Okay, we're on to day 2. Yesterday just kind of turned out to be quite the afternoon. It got really busy, honestly got a bit overwhelming, complicated, and stressful, but then it got better and ended on mostly a positive. So we have that going for us, but we still need to finish the kitchen. The filters are still in here. This morning I emptied out the old water, and you know, dishwasher was loaded and everything from yesterday's dishes. And now those filters are sitting in there in hot water. And we're gonna wash those. We need to wash the crock pot. We need to tackle the stove and then wipe everything down and clean the floors. And then we are done. I'm going to show you the soup. The kids liked it, but they only liked the broth. So we have quite a bit left over and I'm gonna have some for lunch and I wanna show it to you and everything, show you how it turned out. But I am going to blend it just a little bit. I think that will help with, like, the kids just didn't like the big chunks of stuff, which is totally understandable. So we've got to do that when we have some lunch today. But you know, that's reality. Sometimes you have big plans and the day just kind of gets away from you. Happens to all of us and I am no exception. And I'm really glad that today is a new day. So let's clean the filters, get them drying, and then we will tackle the stove. I hope that whatever you have been doing for however many days it's taken is going well.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like
I don't know if you could tell, but the water was pretty murky even from shaking those around. There was a lot of grease built up in there, and I'm using my little scrubber brush here with a little bit more Dawn Power Wash to get the grease all around the sides, and then I just try to rinse it really, really well with the handheld sprayer there and work out as much of the soap and the grease as I can. It's not a perfect system, and honestly, these filters, you can replace them, and mine definitely should be replaced, but I'm just kind of riding the wave as long as possible. I almost replaced them a couple of months ago because you can see I kind of bent some of the parts of it just because I was cleaning them a little too rigorously, but they still do the job, and I keep forgetting to get new ones. So there you go. But I'm going to get these all rinsed off, get them drying. We're going to scrub out the sink really well, get things wiped down, and then we'll move on to the stove. It desperately needs to be cleaned. There's lots of grease all over it, and it's going to be the same kind of thing. The Dawn Power Wash saves the day and makes my life 10,000 times easier.
Dancing closely together and staying forever young. What about you and I then? Can we two find a way to align with each other? Let's move closer to a new history. Find out what we can be together. Take my hand and we will conquer the world. This is our final chance. Choose right from wrong. We found the strength to go on together. To go on together. Yeah. To go on together. Still rough around the edges. I guess that some things never change. Yeah, I know that it's been ages, but it kinda feels the same. No matter how hard I try, you cannot push me out, so just listen. I've been thinking of you since you broke it and moved to LA. And no matter how hard I try, I cannot get you out of my system. I know we both have some things left to say. Can you stay a little longer? Can I make you change your mind? Yeah, I know that it's over, but can we stay here for a while until that?
This stuff is amazing, but I'm gonna spray everything. I use just kind of a damp sponge. I want to spray scrub all around, get the soap covering everything, and then while it sits, I'm going to wipe down the stainless steel on the dishwasher and then come back to it, scrub everything, wipe all the soap off with a microfiber cloth, and then I like to go over it again with a wet cloth to get the rest of the soap off, and then I polish it with a very clean, dry one. It's a lot of cloths, but I want to make sure that everything's nice and clean, and this has been my most successful method on cleaning the stove, or it's just my favorite. I don't know. I can't decide, but it is effective. So as you can see, we've just got the soap resting there, doing its job while I wipe down everything here on the dishwasher, and then we're just going to clean it all off, and it's going to look amazing and wonderful. That stove was disgusting.
Can you stay a little longer? Can I make you change your mind? Yeah, I know that it's over, but can we stay here for a while until everything's alright again? That's cool with you, cool with you, cool with you, 'cause that's cool with me, cool with me.
do the hood. Oh, it's endless. Well, as you can see on the hood, I just had like, the sponge wasn't super dirty. It was just wet, and you can see all that grease that I moved around just with the water. That hood was disgusting. So I'm just doing the same thing that I did on the stove here on the vent, all of the scrubbing, letting it sit, using all the microfiber cloths I have, you know, that kind of thing. And it does work. I do find that when I use the Dawn Power Wash, the grease takes a little bit longer to build up, but when I've done other cleaners, it seems to get dirtier faster. So I really love dish soap for so many things. I like to use it a lot in the bathroom, like in the bathtub and everything, but it also works really, really well on the stainless steel. I only use it here. I don't use it on the stainless steel in the rest of the kitchen on this day, but it definitely does a really good job cutting through all of that grease everywhere. The key thing is to just make sure you use a lot of water after and then polish it up with the microfiber cloth so it doesn't get all streaky. But look at it. It looks so much better. Oh, it's such a good feeling to have that all nice and clean again. Oh, it's amazing. I was so excited to have this type of hood. But it also, you know, mixed feelings because I have to get up there and clean it. But stove and the hood are done. We are just going to keep wiping down all of the counters and then clean off the floors. I will show you the rest of the crock pot meal. It tasted delicious. I think that there might have just been some user error there with me and the recipe and just needing to blend it all up. The recipe suggested that you blend up like just the potatoes, but I didn't want to go through and find all the potatoes. So, oh well, but we're almost done in the kitchen. I hope your tasks are going well. Let's finish up. Sometimes it's hard to tell if it's a paint chip or if it's hot chocolate. It's hot chocolate. That's a paint chip.
Why don't you tell this to somebody who cares? I never thought it felt this good without you, without you. 'Cause I know I need higher standards to reach higher standards without you. 'Cause I know I need higher standards, deserve higher standards, and will reach without you. Why don't you tell this to somebody who cares? Higher standards. 'Cause I know I need higher standards, deserve higher standards, and will reach without you.
Okay, let's clean the floors and move on with our lives. Well, before we vacuum the floors, I just want to show you, this was the night before I had to duck out of the house, so I wasn't home for the official dinner, but once the crock pot cooks for like the 5.5 hours, you come in, you add the cheese and the heavy cream and you stir it up. This is where you could blend up some of the potatoes if you wanted. I let it just kind of be what it was. And then the next day when I was able to kind of come back to it, I blended it all up and reheated some for myself, added a little cheese, ate it with sourdough. It's good. It's kind of a thick soup, but again, it was probably just me, but the flavor is really delicious. It still was worth it, but that was the crock pot meal. It was good. Let's vacuum things up, get it all done finally, and move on with our lives. Well, my friends, that is everything that I have for you. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I so appreciate it. I hope that you were able to get some motivation, or if anything, just be entertained by the chaotic life that I live. But I so appreciate you. I hope you're doing well. If you aren't already, subscribe to the channel. Continue to hang out with me. I would so love that. But otherwise, I am grateful for you, and I will see you next time. Bye.